Hello, I'm back again. Hello YouTubers and native flute players especially. Okay, the reason I'm looking this way is there's a little monitor screen here, that's why I'm not looking directly in the camera. Okay, if that seems a little weird, I'm sorry, but it's convenient for me because I can see my own image here. Okay, what I've got here is the Laughing Crow low D flute. Check this thing out. He cuts his in a flared end. It mimics the tailpipe actually from a car that he liked, Richard Maynard. This is made of Eastern aromatic cedar, and as you've probably heard from some of the improvisations that I've done with it, it's a very lovely sounding flute. And I play Scarborough Fair on this. Now Scarborough Fair, if you play it in the standard key, the traditional key, it's in E minor. This is a D minor pentatonic flute though. So what do? Okay? What that means is, in order to get the E minor, or the E note, the beginning note, you have to half hole the first hole here. So here's the low D, but I want to start on this note. Now this is something that might take a little while to get a feel for. It certainly did for me. Okay, so watch. I'll play the whole thing through all the way, and then I'll break it down to phrases and show you. Okay? Of course, we want to start nicely. Okay, that's basically it. That's really the whole song. There's not really much else in there. You could embellish that melody, excuse me. Believe it or not, I teach English. You can embellish that melody slightly, but really that's basically it. And it sounds great in a tunnel. So let's go phrase by phrase. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Starting rolling off this first note here, okay? So you're going to get okay, and it goes this. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. I'll do that one again. Okay, now I must explain something. Native flutes being made of wood and being handmade by different makers, the fingerings are going to be different sometimes, and especially that is true in the upper octave. When you get past the first octave, you don't usually get many more notes, one or two usually. It gets a little tricky. So if I tell you, yeah, play it this way, cover these holes, and you play it on your flute and they say, what the guy told me to, what is he teaching me here, you know? So just understand it. It could be this, okay? Not that. It could be this note instead of this note. You can hear it, one is slightly flat from the other, right? This one is slightly flat, okay? But normally I think most flute players would play this note and play it this way instead of this cross fingering. But in relation to the other notes, this note sounds better, okay? Did you hear the difference? Okay? And also this high note, parsley, sage, which is the E, the high E. You see the fingering I've got there? On some flutes it'll be this. On other flutes it'll be this. Okay, so just be aware, especially when you get into that upper octave, it can change. Okay, so don't be afraid to play around with that. And this is not carved in stone here. Okay, let's continue. Remember me to the one who lives there, right? One more time. She once was, or was once, a true love of mine. And that's probably the trickiest part of the song right there, getting that and rolling off that note. Okay. And of course the other little, what do you call it, embellishments are, of course, the vibrato. And I'm using the tongue. Dun, 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 dun. But you don't have to. You can smoothly just breathe that. It's called slurring, just like I did with my language there. Try tonguing. You can also articulate the notes by doing the flip. You can do this. Instead of using your tongue. And you can do that with any of the fingers, actually, whichever one's convenient. For me, it just happens to be this one. Alright, let me try that again. And the little pop at the end, which I confess I may do a little bit too much, okay? A lot of people say, well, I want to do that, you know, it's sort of a trademark of Native American flute playing, and you can usually tell when someone's trying to do that because it's sort of overwhelming. Usually it's just building up air, increasing your air pressure, and then releasing both your breath and all the holes at the same time. You're kind of saying what to going, okay, but don't try to do it too hard, okay? Often it will happen naturally while you're playing. Okay. Obviously, if you're in a big place like a tunnel, then that sound, of course, will carry on over. So that's Scarborough Fair on the Laughing Crow Low D flute in Eastern Aromatic Cedar. Okay, my name is Bruce. This has been tutorial number 2. More are to come. Good night.